Buenas, galera, bem-vindo a mais um vídeo. Já vai começar em instantes. Buenas, galera, bem-vindo a mais um vídeo live de baixo orçamento pra variar, galera. Essa é uma cidade bem difícil, com uma internet decente, mas então vamos com o baixo orçamento, vamos tentar fazer essa live fluir. Exemplo, porque hoje é dia de chuva, então ninguém sai de casa, tá todo mundo usando a internet, então vai ser aquele troço, né? Aquele troço. Então vamos lá, vamos meter-lhe o pau. Dá aquele pau nesse carrinho. Yeah. Estamos vendo Marte girando. Gira a roleta. Cadê a musiquinha? Ai, mas que menino bobo. Eu tenho que trocar isso aqui pra cá porque nós temos um problema de que vai ficar em cima do chat, né? Eu não vou jogar multiplayer hoje. Opa, automático. A gente vai fazer o treino aqui, galera. Tem o modo Robotics, né? E tem o modo Minutes. Vamos, que é humanizado, não é humanizado, é modo humano, tá? Humano, tá? Vamos iniciar nosso treino, então. Primeiro vou jogar o treino aqui. Eu acho que eu só fiz a primeira parte, não fiz o resto, né? Então a gente tem que seguir o tutorial. É um pequeno nagada, assim, né? Inclusive, cara, essa facecam tá meio longe aí. Beleza. Aí, ó, tá perfeito.
Hi there. How you doing today? Ready for your training?
Ok, eu vou botar a câmera aqui embaixo. Porque ele vai mostrar só se eu tô em pé ou tô sentado. Ok, caminhar.
Sorry for the mess. Still a lot of work around here. The way is blocked behind me. Head in via this side alley. A helicopter is waiting for you near the lab.
Tá, entendi. Obrigado. Ok. Vai até o ponto lá. Vamos correndo, então. Corre.
You'll have to jump over these boxes. Don't worry, they're pretty solid. Sorry about that. We're in the middle of some moving. Continue that way. Watch out for the wreck. Just crouch and go straight on.
Sempre velho treino, né, cara? Sempre velho treino. Galera, aguardo comentários de vocês aí.
Hey, could you please grab that crate and place it on the trailer next to the other boxes?
Ok, vamos pegar. Largo onde? Pode largar pro alto?
No. Put it with the other crate, on the trailer right there.
Ah, tem que botar lá. Só porque eu queria avacalhar. Isso é muito chato, cara.
Thanks, buddy. You should head for the helicopter now. They're waiting for you. Good luck with your training.
Obrigado.
By the way, might be a long trip. Get
Nossa.
some water in the warehouse.
Helicóptero. Drink water. Water.
Hey there. Man, I'm exhausted. I need a break.
Beleza, tomei água.
The flight might take a while. You should probably take some water with you. There are some empty water packs in the container over there.
Primeiro comentário é... conferir. Tá gravando. Tá, pegar mais água. Não, primeiro... Não, eu quero jogar isso longe. Isso aqui. Tem que levar água até onde... Não é isso. Como eu abro?
This is the inventory screen. On the left is the container's inventory, and your inventory is on the right. Drag and drop an item from the container's inventory to a free slot in your inventory.
Vou pegar água, né? Eu toquei uma no chão, né? Olha o tamanho do bagulho, olha o tamanho da caixa atrás, cara. Tu não enxerga. Tá. Vamos puxar essa que tá no chão já. Isto. Refill Water Pack.
Some items have specific functionality linked to being in the... To access an item's action menu, hover the mouse over its icon and press the right mouse button.
Agora tenho água. Esse que tá vazio, tá.
There's a medical tool in the open box. Take it with you as well, just in case.
Items on the ground can be seen at the top of the inventory screen. Some items special slot.
You should equip the tool if you want to use it. You'll likely find many tools that come in handy during your training. Feel free to put away the medical tool once you've done with it.
Pode ligar no alto. Não, in the trailer. Eu acho tomando chimarrão, com certeza. Coisa meio ruim, cara. Eu tô vendo em 220. Como assim tu tá vendo 220, cara? É impossível.
Anyway, you should head to the chopper, man. They won't wait for you all day. Have a safe flight. Good luck.
Hey, ready to hit the Martian dust? Well, the next best thing anyway. Just hop in and grab a seat. We're about to take off.
This is Hotel Actual. I'll be your pilot today. Welcome on board. Make yourself comfortable and we'll take this bird skyward. We'll take off as soon as you're ready. Okay, let's see. Engines go. Fuel is go. Torque is go. Looking good. Raising collective. By the way, Training Island, you'll love it.
Uma boa pergunta tá vendo 720. Acho que eu tô com 620 e nem percebi. Acho que faltou uma configuração aqui. E cara, já tô com
Welcome to Training Island. This complex is used for training our future astronauts to survive a stay on Mars. The wooden panel indicates the location such as the completion of all training facilities. Use it to choose your next training area.
Basic, veículos, machines, habitat, tá. Então tem que ir pro 2. Onde fica o 2 esse mapa? Porque é muito ruim, cara. Ah. Simples, né? Simples.
Here you'll learn how to drive and operate vehicles you'll make use of on Mars. Let's start with the cargo truck.
O que é o cargo truck? Aí. Olha o tamanho do veículo.
To board the truck, walk up the stairs. Use this button to stow the stairs. Similar buttons are located on each outer side of the truck. It takes some time for the stairs to stow completely, so make sure they're in a safe position before driving. The cabin is accessed via an airlock.
Oh, cabe um veículo em cima, ó. Tri, velho. Airlock.
Be sure to close the airlock's outside door before opening the cabin's door. I'm sure you'll have noticed 2 suit holders, one at each side of the airlock. On Mars, you can store your suit there to refill its oxygen supply and power. Now open the airlock cabin's door.
Meu Deus, a Loki bugou.
Don't forget to close the airlock. On Mars, such a simple mistake may endanger your life. Hence, both seats allow you to drive the vehicle. You can sit, put your hands on the wheel. We've prepared an obstacle course for you. While driving, the monitor can give you various information about the vehicle. Turn it on with the mouse cursor at your convenience. Press the right mouse button to display or hide the mouse cursor.
Nossa, eu tô bem no chão, né, cara? Cara, que veículo louco, velho.
Drive carefully over the first series of obstacles. You may monitor your cargo using the rear camera on the monitor. This vehicle has a wide turning circle. Keep that in mind when turning and move to the next checkpoint.
Ok, já vamos girando. Buenas, Níbio! Estamos aqui no Take On Mars, nos preparando para colonizar o universo.
Most vehicles have a turbo mode for increased speed. To climb up steep slopes, use turbo by holding the turbo key. Note that the turbo mode uses more fuel. You can watch your speed and fuel levels in the stats menu on the vehicle's monitor.
Vamos, veículo. Força! Alguém tá tentando
Stop
me
the
ligar,
vehicle
cara,
and
que
check the
saco.
cargo. You can loop between the different external cameras by pressing the camera key several times.
Ok, estacionamos no topo. Vamos descer.
Drive the truck carefully down the slope, then park it at its final spot.
Caramba! Olha o veículo ali balançando. E vamos. Finish!
Okay, you can stop here. You can leave the seat by pressing the use key twice. Now let's move on to the scout buggy.
Eu tenho que sair então. Aí, ó. Vamos descer o bug. Buenas, Volmir Maciel Pereira. Estamos ao vivo. Jogando Take On Mars. Nós estamos na área de treinamento, né? Tentando aprender como se sobrevive, né? A esse mundo intergaláctico, interplanetário, né? E vamos lá, vamos que vamos. Ok. Opa. Agora acho que tem que dar reload. Não.
Move through the airlock the same way as you did before. Make sure that all doors are properly closed.
Sempre lembrar de fechar a porta. Eu não preciso. Aí, tem que utilizar. Então a gente tem que ver que tem que cuidar. Ó. Aqui faz um comando, aqui faz outro, né, cara? Então. Aqui agora a gente abre a porta. Não precisa botar roupa porque. Como vemos, né? Estamos fora aqui.
Sit in the buggy seat by pressing the use key when it's highlighted.
Ok, load buggy.
Now reverse out of the cargo truck slowly. All vehicles share the same control system. Use the vehicle's monitor to watch its data and hold the turbo key for increased speed.
Agora vamos bug pra pedir obstáculos. Olha. Jogo de massa, cara. Show de bola. Vou jogar tanque online aqui. Falou, Mate Brasil. Lembrando que dá pra danificar o veículo aí. Voltar. Não era essa pista aqui não. Vamos ver outra pista então.
The Scout buggy is much faster than other vehicles, but has a small fuel supply. Its low clearance makes it vulnerable even to small objects.
Rápido, mas olha a velocidade a gente anda. 15 km por hora foi o máximo que eu peguei. Vamos lá, bora lá, bora lá.
Driving a vehicle burns fuel, methane and oxygen. Let's refuel the buggy. Move close to and look directly at one of the barrels and press the use key when it is highlighted. You can rotate held objects by holding the rotation keys while moving the mouse. You may also rotate by 90-degree increments with the additional rotation keys displayed below the objectives panel. The Scout buggy's cargo hold is opened automatically when you are near it. Place the new barrel at the tank's plug and drop it when it's highlighted to connect it.
Vamos tirar o outro aqui. Nem gastei, cara. Já tô trocando, né? Oh. É legal jogar os objetos aqui. Não toquei com força suficiente.
Great job! You've successfully mastered the buggy. Now is the last part of the vehicle's training, the Manned Mobile Laboratory.
Vamos lá.
The MML's airlock has a control panel. Press extend to extend the ramp.
Does unlock. Então é só dar...
Stay clear of the ramp when it's moving. It's heavy and can cause heavy injuries.
Diz pra mim afastar porque pode machucar, né? Se eu ficar embaixo. skin. Ok. Walk inside.
You may now retract the ramp and wait for it to close before entering the MML.
Que eu posso dar.
The MML's airlock is, as you can see, different and spacious. The airlock has 6 slots for oxygen-filled barrels and 2 suit holders.
Eu não tô com a roupa, não pode dar zoom maior que isso. Agora pode dar Pickle. Ah, é outro Pickle. Agora vai. Senão eu pressurizo errado. Isso daqui é uma coisa que eu tenho que me acostumar, cara. Senão eu pressurizo errado e dá merda. O jogo é pago? É. Hoje tá 80 e poucos reais. Mas consegue pagar mais barato em promoção, né? É que o ideal do jogo é comprar em promoção, né? Ok. Abre a porta. Tu abriu, tu fecha a porta. Porque se
The
alguém
body of the
abrir lá no
MML
outro lado,
contains
dá merda.
storage, beds for the crew to sleep, and a work table to perform various analyses. 2 panels control the side doors, but only if connected to a habitat.
Legal, dá pra conectar direto na... Provavelmente dá pra conectar direto no... Ah, no... O nome? Ah, no abrigo, né?
You cannot access the crane controls from this seat. Use the right-hand driver's seat instead. You cannot access the crane controls from this seat. Use the right-hand driver's seat instead. Start by rotating the crane towards the container by pressing the your right or your left buttons on the screen. Now use the pitch up down and extend retract buttons to position the magnet above the container.
Vamos, desce. Ah, muito lento para descer. Desce, 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 desce. Gostou?
Great! Use the crane controls you've just learned to move the container to the other side of the MML. Raise it off the ground first. The rest is up to you.
Tem que trocar a câmera. Pra onde que eu tenho que mudar a câmera? Pra onde tem que levar isso? Boa pergunta, onde é que tem que levar? Eu acho que tem que levar aqui, ó. Eu só não descobri como... subir. Ah, tem que botar com os outros lá, ó. Só girar.
The container is now above the others. Lower it before deactivating the magnet.
Desce, desce, desce.
The container is close enough to the ground now. Press the deactivate magnet button to release it. Perfect. This concludes the MML training. Congratulations! You successfully completed the vehicles training. Use the wooden panel to move on to the next part of your training.
Okay. Legal, ficou oxigênio. Dá pra botar 2 armaduras. Legal. Vamos lá, né? Caramba, não para nunca. Deixa eu botar uma musiquinha enquanto isso. Yeah. Meu Deus, demora para subir a pressão. Enquanto isso, deixa eu ler essa mensagem. Meu Deus, vamos, pô. Demora para despressurizar. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Vamos lá, ter o mapa lá 42 metros, vamos pegar o próxima fase, o próximo treino, né? Aí, não mexeu lá com a empilhadeira, cara. Eu queria ver a empilhadeira.
This facility contains all the machines and equipment you will need to survive on Mars. We will begin with a presentation of power generation machines. Let's start with the radioisotope thermoelectric generator. This is the radioisotope thermoelectric generator, also known as RTG. Learn more by using the speaker. The RTG is an electrical generator, utilizing the thermoelectric effect. The electricity is produced through the conversion of the heat released by the decay of radioactive material. Despite an output of only a few hundred watts, the half-life of the used isotope provides the capacity for a constant power supply spanning many years. It is provided with 2 standard output sockets and a standard display. Let's plug in the power cable. We are going to use the RTG shortly. This panel displays on the left the electrical power generated by the RTG, and on the right its draining load. The load is currently at 0, as it is not connected to any machine. Great! Now move on to this is a communications tower. It serves as a beacon for your map. Knowing your exact location, such as of your crew and your machines, is vital on Mars. Hence, communications towers create an information network when they are in range of each other. Your interactive map will connect to the nearest comms tower and displays information about anything covered by the network. If there is another comms tower in range, it will connect to the existing network of comms towers and expand the area you can see. Now, we can supply this comms tower, thanks to the RTG. The communications tower is operational now. Use the map key to open it. Good work. Now proceed to your next objective. A cable spool can contain up to 5 power cables. As a cable is 10 meters long, They are rolled up on the spool for easier transport. Learn more about power cables by using the speaker. Power cables have a red end and a green end. The red is for input, for example, to a machine producing energy like the RTG, and the green is for output, for example, to a machine requiring energy like the communications tower. Observe the sockets on each machine. The color code will inform you about the correct connection, red to green or green to red. You can unwind the cable by clicking on the spool with the unwind key. To rewind the cable, just grab the cable and hold it onto the spool, then press the same. Easy, right? Now grab that cable and rewind it onto the cable spool. Now that you've learned how to handle power cables, move on to the... This is a power hub. It serves as a connector bridge between power generators and machines. The power hub has 6 red input sockets on the right and 6 green output sockets on the left. It allows you to connect a maximum of 6 power generators to the input sockets and distribute power to up to 6 machines via the output sockets. The display on the left shows the sum of power generated in the electricity network or grid expressed in watts. The right shows the current electricity load. The bottom line informs about the power stored in the hub batteries and the estimated load duration. As you can see behind you, you can connect several hubs together to reduce the amount of cables needed for supplying the machines with electricity. Plug that cable to an input socket before we move on.
Não precisa todas, né? Então não precisa de 6 entradas para botar 6 saídas, né? Então tu pode botar uma entrada, eita, uma entrada e 6 saídas, por exemplo. Se conseguir fornecer energia, claro.
Now it's time to have a look at the solar array.
Tá vindo de 2 hubs ali, ó.
A solar array, also referred as a solar panel, absorbs the rays of the sun and processes them into electricity. The solar array is made of 2 panels that convert the solar power to electricity, utilizing the photovoltaic effect. 2 additional batteries can store up to several kilowatts per hour of electricity. One solar array can generate over 2 times more power than the RTG. However, its efficiency depends exclusively on the amount of solar energy available. It's also provided with 2 output sockets and a power display. Now plug in that cable to connect the solar array to the power hub.
Ah não, ainda não travou a câmera. Enfim. Cara, o volume do jogo tá mais alto que tua voz, eu sei. Mas eu vou deixar esse jogo porque senão ele vai
you now have the required knowledge about power generators for your future mission on Mars. That should come in handy. This is a topsoil extractor. Its sole function is to extract the soil from the surface.
Deixa eu tentar, pelo menos, vamos ver se eu consigo arrumar aqui o volume. Aí já tá bem baixo o volume, cara. Enfim, vamos dar
the topsoil extractor uses a flexible hose to gather the surface of the soil, in the same way as a vacuum cleaner. The extracted resource is collected into barrels that must be plugged in prior to its usage. It has 2 input sockets for its energy supply, such as a standard display informing about its energy usage. The large topsoil extractor, like this one, proposes 4 barrel plugs. A small version, less energy demanding, embarks only 1 plug. Use that cable to supply the topsoil extractor so we can use it. Perfect. Now that the machine is powered, you have to plug in the resource barrel for it to start working. There should be one lying nearby. Use that one. It doesn't have to be necessarily empty. Now, connect the barrel to an empty slot. When properly supplied with energy, the machine starts to operate immediately. Perfect. We can now continue with the atmospheric processor.
Agora aqui, esse aqui é o atmosférico. É o coletor atmosférico ou não? Não, lá. Então, esse aqui é o coletor atmosférico.
This is the atmospheric processor. It captures the surrounding atmosphere. The atmosphere is drawn in through an air pump and redirected into resource barrels that collects the air. The large atmospheric processor accepts up to 5 barrel plugs, whereas the small energy-efficient atmospheric processor proposes 1 plug only. Connect the cable so we can collect the Earth atmosphere. Perfect. Now that the machine is powered, you have to plug in the resource barrel. Now, connect the barrel to an empty slot. When properly supplied with energy, the machines let the processor work and move to the drilling rig. This is a drilling rig used for excavation. A twist drill bit penetrates the crust with a fast rotation. The raw material is then lifted up through a borehole via the cutting edges. The extracted rock is stored into barrels. This large drilling rig proposes 4 barrel slots and a standard display panel, while the small version has 1 plug. Connects the machine to a cable so we can dig up some earth.
Tem que estar em cima da rocha, senão tu não coleta, galera. Tá. Aqui, isso é erro que eles estão cometendo no tutorial.
Now that the machine is powered, you have to plug in the... Now, connect the barrel to an empty slot. When properly supplied on each machine, do not omit to pay attention to the power display. You can monitor the machine's energy requirements, the overall power available on the grid, and the potential usage duration. Do not forget that a machine cannot operate with barrels filled with improper resources. For example, an earth soil barrel plugged to a drilling rig. If you do so, the machine will just stop working. Do not get confused. Let's move on to the next machine. This is a materials refinery, a beautiful piece of engineering that can refine raw resources into materials or compounds. The materials refinery has 2 main functions. It can either split complex materials into their constituent components, or it can synthesize compounds from core materials. Input and output slots are located on each side of the refinery. The large materials refinery comes with 3 input and 5 output slots. The small one has respectively 2 input and 3 output slots. A control panel allows for the operations of the desired reaction. Plug in the cable so we can start to put our hands on this machine.
Ok, agora conecta o cabo.
The refinery is now powered. Why don't we try it out on some raw material we've just collected? Let's split some rock. Take one of the earth rock barrels from the drilling rig and plug it into a free input slot of the refinery. Remember, input slots are on the left of the materials refinery. The input barrel is connected. Now, earth rock's second splitting reaction produces 4 elements, so we need 4 output barrels. 3 barrels are connected already. The 4th one should be nearby.
Ué, cadê o tubo? Ah, tá lá. Saiu rolando.
This barrel is partially filled with oxygen, which is one of the elements of the splitting earth rocks reaction. Plug it into a free output slot at the right side of... Good job! Now move to... Here is displayed the reactions list screen. It shows all the reactions the materials refinery is capable of processing. Select Split Earth Rock 2 to access the reactions details, required input materials, and expected output components. In our case, 5 units of earth rock, the input material, will generate 2 units of oxygen, 1 of silicon, 1 of aluminium, and 1 unit of iron, the 4 output components. To navigate through the control panel, use the centered mouse cursor, not the free cursor. To ease the reading, you can hold the zoom key to zoom. When you're ready, close the reaction list screen to access the processing screen. The processing screen permits you to manage the reaction according to the... Now, select all the output slots. Keep in mind that an incomplete slot, once all the correct slots are selected, the reaction is ready to be performed. Click on the process materials to proceed.
Aí, ó. Por que tá dando menos recursos? Não sei.
And voila! When the materials refinery is processing, you can monitor the decrease of the input material and the production of the output components as you wish. Now let's move on to the next device. This huge thing is the resource tank. It is used to store large quantities of resource. 2 input slots for transferring from a barrel into the tank, and 2 output slots for collecting the stored resource into individual barrels, plus a simple display for capacity monitoring. It's as simple as that. Let's completely fill that oxygen barrel. Plug it into an output slot of the resource tank. As you can see, the quantity of resource decreases from the tank, filling up the barrel until it's full, or until the tank is depleted. The materials refinery should now have produced enough oxygen from the earth rock. Bring it to the resource tank.
E aqui tu ADD. ADD, tu coloca, né? Ah, ele quer que eu pegue esse aqui. Não, não quer tu. Eu tô fazendo bagunça mesmo,
Observe the
galera, que isso
oxygen
aqui
of the
vai acabar
barrel
logo.
being stored in the
Eu
resource
não vou usar esse
tank. No need
tutorial
to say
depois,
that
né?
you can't plug in the barrel, whose resource differs from the element stored in the tank.
Sim, vou
We're
bem
almost done.
complexo.
The
E
last thing to learn
trabalho em
is the 3D
equipe
printer. Go
é
through the gates to
essencial.
the printer testing area.
É essencial trabalhar em equipe aqui, porque muita gente
Two
vai
types of
trabalhar.
3D printers are available. We will start with the Creative Printer on your right. This is the Creative 3D printer. It's a user-friendly type of printer. The Creative 3D printer is able to build any machine or equipment you've ever dreamed of. It doesn't require any resource or power, and the printing
Esse aqui é
duration is very
impressora
short.
3D
The printer
no modo
uses blueprints
criativo,
for
eu acho.
printing an item. Blueprints. This is the Creative 3D printer menu. Selecting a category displays the list of related objects in the central panel. Go deeper in the filters to refine your selection. Selecting an object will show its details on the right side of the menu. You can also see the Create button. Now comes the inventory of the printer. Close the printer menu by clicking the cross on the top right or pressing the Escape key.
O que ela quer que eu faça? O que ele quer que eu faça, cara? Quer que aperte.
This is the Creative 3D printer's inventory. Blueprints come as data disks. They must be stored in the data disk slots. Note that if you filter machines, then printers, you will access the list of objects required for building your own larger modular printer. Equipped with the construction tool, the modular printer is built the same way as a base. That's all you need to know about the Creative printer. Good job. Now it's time to proceed to the modular 3D printer.
Agora, essa aqui é a
The modular
impressora que a gente
3D
tem que fazer
printer is a
primeiro no
realistic
jogo, ó.
printing device.
É aqui que tu vai fazer itens maiores e tudo mais, tá? Então vamos botar aqui.
Firstly, its size can be increased by adding more pieces to a basic small modular printer. Edge, base, ramp extension, resources slots edge, etc. The larger the size, the bigger and more complex objects it can print. Secondly, it needs different types of resources for printing, depending on the object. Slots are available for plugging in any type of resources barrel. Objects that require more resources or a bigger printer are clearly indicated.
Argon,
Let's print
silicon,
something. Open the modular printer
e
menu by pressing the
iron.
Use key while looking at the control panel.
Tu começa só com esse objeto aqui, uma impressora menor, galera. Isso aqui é pra começar essa impressora, porque tu não consegue fazer na impressora
This
pequena.
menu is similar to the creative printers. The main difference lies in the required resources for printing, as indicated at the
Essa
bottom right.
impressora aqui tu precisa de recurso comparado
Note
daquela
that if you
outra,
filter
tá?
machines, then printers, you will access the list of objects required for building your own larger modular printer.
Quando tu
Equipped
clicar
with the
qualquer
construction
recurso, vai
tool,
mostrar o que
the
tu pode
modular
fazer, o
printer
que
is
tá amarelo
built
tu
the
não tem
same way as a
recurso.
base. Now,
Que diz
choose
quanto
the
tu vai
object you
gastar
wish to
de
print
recurso,
and
tá?
create it.
Tá, posso criar alguma coisa, qualquer?
A printing time is required, depending on the object. Do remember that you will need to enlarge the modular printer, piece by piece, for printing very large objects. Even a huge vehicle like a cargo truck can be built, provided that enough resources are
Aqui
available.
embaixo, ó, é a área disponível para
Congratulations for completing the
construção. E
machine's
isso aqui é a área
training.
que precisa para construir.
That wasn't easy, but
É
you managed
bem-
it like a
bem
pro.
engraçado.
Surviving on Mars should now be no problem. You can now pursue your training by using the board.
Galera, eu acho que vou encerrar por aqui o vídeo, galera. Só quero ver uma coisa aqui. Veículos. Eu pergunto como é que eu giro. Aqui tu mexe a câmera. Eu pergunto como é que se mexe aqui, cara. Aqui é uma outra câmera louca lá. Não sei, cara. Vou só descer aqui. Ah. Tá, vamos desembarcar aqui logo. Galera, o próximo mapa é do Habitat. Eu vou clicar aqui, mas eu vou encerrar. Eu já tentei QE, tá?
Here you'll learn about the habitable base and how to build one. To build any base, you need foundations. We've prepared a small building for you to finish.
Senão a live vai durar muito tempo, cara. E esse vídeo vai ficar salvo lá no YouTube, tá? Então, galera, curte, favorita e compartilhe esse vídeo nas redes sociais, ajuda muito o canal a crescer. Lembre-se de se inscrever na página do Facebook. E muito obrigado, galera do All Crazy. Até a próxima. Valeu, falou!